Hello, everybody. Thanks for listening to Wake Up, Look Up, a podcast where we connect events happening in real time to the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Zach Weihrauch. And in today's episode, we're asking, do grades matter? This is coming from a New York Times op-ed piece written by Adam Grant, who you might have heard of because he's written a couple of national bestsellers. He's an organizational psychologist. Most of his writing is in leadership and in what makes a healthy organization. He's also, though, a professor at the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania, which is one of the premier business schools in the country at an Ivy League institution. And in his op-ed article, he was making the point that students are increasingly believing that grades don't matter, that what matters is effort. And he thinks that's leading us to some pretty unhealthy places, which I thought was interesting. For example, he starts anecdotally with his own experience in a recent class where he had a couple of students approach him at the end of the class who were upset with their grades for the semester. And what their basic argument is that this grade doesn't reflect the effort that I put into this class. That's an interesting thought. Hey, I tried hard. I should get a better grade because, of course, grades are primarily about what you accomplish, not about how much work you put into. It's possible to work hard and not actually produce results. And that's the crux of the argument. Adam Grant's making the point that we're a culture that has really told kids for the last 20 years that what matters is trying hard. And they've been listening. And so increasingly, college students are saying results are not the point. Effort is. In fact, 2/3 of college students in the United States believe that trying hard should be sufficient to pass a class, that trying hard is the point, not the result. In fact, most college students, according to Grant, believe that they should get a B just for showing up for class. So if I show up, I get a B. If I do well result-wise, maybe then I get an A. Their point is what matters is I'm trying, not that I can actually pass a test or write a good paper. But is that what matters? It's an interesting thing because it's a broader conversation than just college students. For all of us in every industry we're in or relationships we're in, we have to determine what actually is the metric by which we're going to evaluate ourselves, results or effort. Does it matter if I lose weight or if I'm just dieting? Does it matter if I gain muscle or if I just go to the gym? Does it matter if I make financial progress or if I'm just trying to live on a budget? How are we going to evaluate ourselves? And Grant's point is a great one, I think. If we make the conversation all about effort, it will stunt our progress as humans. He uses the example, maybe you can resonate with this from your own college experience, that a lot of students will not study until the night before an exam, and then they'll stay up all night the night before slamming for the test. And what he says is when they perform poorly on the exam, they will say, well, that's not fair. I tried hard. But probably what they should be saying is, hey, maybe my strategy or method for studying is not good. Maybe sleep matters, and maybe I should have started studying early on in the semester, because that kind of thinking will actually lead to self-improvement. If we convince ourselves, even spiritually, that what matters is that I'm getting up every morning and reading the Bible, what matters is that I'm praying, and we disconnect from actual results. Am I developing my understanding of who God is? Am I developing a heart that's more open to what he has to say to me? Am I growing in my obedience? If we make it only about effort and not at all about results, we'll end up wasting a lot of time. And I think even actually losing the reason for why we're doing something. Maybe you're experiencing this. You're getting up in the morning and you're spending time with God, but it feels pointless and it feels fruitless. I think that's probably because you've disconnected it from the why. What is it you're supposed to be seeing? What is it it's supposed to be producing? I think of Psalm 19, for example, where the psalmist says that the law of the Lord is delightful. It's good for the soul because it makes wise the simple. It's the gaining of wisdom that is the point. I think Grant is giving us insight into something that can really help us spiritually, and that is a reorientation, not just saying, what's the effort I'm putting into growing spiritually, but also saying, am I seeing results? And if you feel like your effort is not leading to results, maybe seek some counseling from an older brother or sister in Christ or from your pastor to say, hey, how can I change my strategy of seeking to grow in my knowledge, seeking to grow in my obedience to Jesus? How can I change what I'm doing so that I actually am growing? Effort matters, but so does results. And results often show us if our efforts being spent in the right place. Here we are at the beginning of a year. Let's make sure we're pursuing both of those things with equal vigor, especially as it relates to our relationship with Jesus. Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode of Wake Up, Look Up. While you're here, take a minute to like and subscribe. Really helps us get the word out. Don't hesitate to leave a review wherever you might find this podcast on an audio level and help spread the word. Hey, while you're here, check out all the other content we have at Christ Community Chapel on YouTube. Some of those videos are popping up on the screen now. Click on one.